Hello. For far too long, I wasn't sure of what to make the next Briskillanya episode about. That actually still kind of applies, which is why this episode is going to be about various things that aren't really enough material to make entire episodes out of. First, language groups. In the future, I may make additional videos about individual languages, but for now, I have very little of that fleshed out. I do, however, have it established which people speak which languages, and which languages are related to one another. The first language group in geographical order is the Hiantian group. It contains Haldari, which is isolated nearly entirely to Haldar, and Inyantonian, which is spoken in most of the Inyantonian Empire. The other languages that used to exist within Inyanton are now nigh non-existent due to the increasing illegality of speaking languages that aren't Inyantonian within Inyanton. Inyantonian is also spoken in some cities in the far southern parts of Haldar, something the Haldari government loves to point out to scare its populace. The third most widely spoken language in this family is Yennethi, a language spoken in northwestern Inyanton and southwestern Haldar. Yennethi used to be its own kingdom before being unevenly bisected by the two surrounding nations about 200 years back. In Inyanton, while the language does not enjoy the same legal rights as Inyantonian, it is still commonly used in parts of former Yennethi. The second language group is the Halaran one. In Inyantonian Halara and in some parts of Arokahian Halara, the Hienian language remains popular despite the Inyantonian government's attempt to destroy it. One unique quirk of Hienian is that native speakers of the language have two names, one used as a subject of a sentence and one that can be used as an object. Arokahian is the dominant language in most of Araka, of course, and the most widely spoken language in the family. Ahenian is closely related to Arokahian, making it a member of this family. The next language is Deraki, which is a Creole spoken on the island of Derak in Isatanam. The reason that this island is spoken so distantly from the rest is because the island was a Arokahian colony prior to the Arokahian-Lavalian War. Next is the Ainyasan language group, the smallest and most homogeneous of them all. It is only spoken to a significant extent in the Ainyas, where the family originated, and Desert Kest. The Ainyasan language is very old, though it is very different from its original form. Besides that, the most notable thing about these languages is that they use the voiced labiodental fricative a lot, maybe even too much. The most diverse language group is the Turbino-Taishan-Rasilian family. It is named after its three subfamilies, the Turbinan family, the Taishan family, and the Rasilian family. The Turbinan family contains Azertahi, Turbinan, Ravatan, Arcani, and Pensalistan. Pensalistan is spoken in both Turbina and Wemvar, as the region was divided between the two nations. The Taishan family contains the languages that are dominant in Wemvar: Lamtashian, Vahrian, Muhian, and Ithacan. The former three are more closely related to one another than they are to Ithacan. Finally, the Rasilian family is dominant in Isatanap, containing Giradayan, Lysasan, Yiskil, Isatian, and Gileskin. The Rasilian languages do exist outside of the Rasilian Bay itself, as communities fleeing discrimination and or oppression from the Isatanabian government exist, mainly in Ravata, Vinkla, and Trebina. The penultimate language group is also a major one, though there is little more to say about it: Labalian. It contains Labalian itself, including the Fioran dialect, Raitlan, and Vinklin. Raitlan is a language spoken in Eastern Labal that is basically mutually intelligible with Labalian. The final large language group is Paidini, which is the major family in its namesake continent. It contains Yanakis, Kahobi, Delanahian, Sadini, Rahalite, Sikian, and Anpayan. This family is a very diverse one, containing hundreds of smaller languages as well. Briskillanyan entertainment is similar to what terrestrial entertainment was like in the 1890s. As an example, audio recording technology is still only a few decades old, still relying mainly on phonograph cylinders for sound storage, with records only being a very recent invention. Even then, phonographs are rare in most of the countries of Briskillanya, with only wealthy people usually possessing them. Azertat and the Ahenian city of Calastia are notable exceptions, where a decent amount of the population, including middle-class people, tend to own them. Another new technology slowly becoming more popular in Briskillanya is film. All films so far have been short, silent ones in black and white. Speaking of the visual arts, photography is a well-understood art on the planet, and color photography has been done successfully, but is not yet commonplace. In the realm of painting and drawing, geometric shapes are currently a major component in these art forms. Literature is mostly the same, with the exception of the novella being a more popular genre. In poetry, there are still things characteristic of poetry on our planet: special line lengths, importance of stressed and unstressed syllables, rhyming structures, etc. However, it is also common for some poems to focus on alternating voiced and unvoiced consonants, alternating consonants with a common manner of articulation but differing places of articulation, or vice versa. In rough geographical order, the major bodies of water on Briskillanya are the Dehesho Ocean, the Tenach Inlet, Lake Buntry, the Bay of Parath, the Kalinjir Ocean, the Inino Sea, the Verakachian Sea, the Bay of Apervanex, the Ainyi River, Lake Ainyi, the Roch Ocean, the Postfioran Sea, the Aenean Ocean, Lake Dasav, Lake Ydasav, the Brazilian Bay, and the Klanta Roch Ocean. That's really it. That will be all for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed watching it. Fortunately, I am a lot more certain about the topic in the next video, which will be about a few of Briskillanya's various subnational entities. I hope to see you then. Goodbye!